Hey, hi everyone. Today we are gonna reverse engineer how Google search has implemented their client server relationship. So, what I'm trying to say is whenever we search anything on Google, we get we get a list of autocomplete, auto suggestions, and as we type, these suggestions are changing, and it's pretty fast how fast the suggestion change. That is pretty impressive. So, I think the first question we can ask is what kind of what kind of communication is happening between the browser, Chrome browser, and Google servers? What is this? So there are two. Is it REST API or is it WebSockets? So if you think about it, WebSockets are fast. They allow exchanging information between the client and the server pretty fast because the connection only has to be created once, and then the client and browser can share information. The only difference is in our case, the the WebSocket also benefits from two-sided communication, like where both Google, like the browser, the client, and the server can send information to each other. But the confirmation that we like the kind of relationship we see is we request server response. It's not a two-way. It there is a request and response, but there is no. Both of them are not able to not sending data to each other. And the another problem with WebSockets that I can think of is the WebSockets. They're expensive at Google scale. For like, consider a scenario: you open your laptop, you open your browser. What is the first page that opens a lot of time for a lot of people? It's the Google search. And now Google will have to maintain these billions of connections, WebSocket connections, and it probably just doesn't scale, or it's gonna be very costly. Now the second option is REST API, where we just whatever letters we have in the search, the REST API request to the server, hey, give me autocomplete suggestions. This is what the string that the user has entered so far. And I'm pretty sure Google has already been must be doing some kind of optimizations there, like caching the results of commonly used auto suggestions like E, A, B, any single letter. And now what we can do is we can actually look at how it is working behind the scenes. So what I will do is I will open the developer tools. I will open the side, close the side window. Here on the left side we have the results. Go to network tab. I've selected fetch FR, clean everything up, and then I will start typing. I start E. What happens if we press E? See. So now we can see there are four requests that we have sent. What is the first request? Is query E, that is the first letter. So in the parameters, you can see query is E. There are a bunch of other information that has been added to the request. So the ones I can see is query is E, then client is there. I've seen previously they might also send the previous searches, so add some context. Language is English. So it's and see how Google has optimized the query parameters by using single or two letters, like as few letters as possible, to save on the amount of data that is being transferred. And let's look at the results. When we look at the results, we can see. Let's go back to eBay, Etsy, and then this is one of the results. Etsy. There is an image. As you can see, there are some images being displayed. So the Google is passing the URL of the image instead of passing the image itself. I think which makes sense because then they can pull the image from the nearest CDNs, and then the yeah, and then it can also fit the device type. The image can be returned based upon the device type that we will request when we will request the image from the CDN. I think another key thing to note is when Google responds back to anything public facing. Yeah, you can see how when they return the results, they also already bold some of the text. So I think they're trying to avoid computing these or modifying these results on the client side, and to save time and have a common logic, they're doing it at the back end by adding the be bold tag. Now let's look at the timing because timing was one of the concerns. We needed to be fast. How long did it take? The first request E57, 58, 74, 50. So it seems like based upon what you are searching, you can get faster results versus slower results. Yeah. And another thing to note is if it is 50-60 milliseconds, that's not a lot of time, and it's kind of not perceptible to human eye, that delay. Well, that's pretty much it, and that I wanted to talk about. Thank you.